And there are some people you meet who you can feel they are truly on the path. Today you'll have the pleasure of hearing a conversation I had with Laura. Laura is a friend that I met at the Sweat Lodge, and we immediately became sisters. We connected over our history in sobriety, we connected over medicine and the old ways, and we connected over spirituality and doing your personal and self-development work. In this amazing conversation today, we dive into what holding space looks like, why it's hard to hold space, and how to use the practice of space holding to become a better human. Enjoy. Dingle, dingle, dawn. Good things. So we wanted to have this conversation about holding space for yourself and for others, because for both of us, it's been such an integral part of being helpers, being able to help people. You brought up such an interesting point about, having to do it for yourself as well as for others, and how, you have to have a certain level of empathy and compassion in order to really do it. We're having a conversation about like how people can be better at holding space and how that can make them a better human, whether that's a better friend, a better family member, a better practitioner, like whatever they're doing where they feel that they want to hone this skill. For you, what does the practice of silence give you?
The practice of silence, it allows me to be in the moment, to be with myself, to truly hear my body. It allows me to hear my intuition. It allows me to connect to my creator. It allows me to connect to nature, to animals. Silence is very, very powerful. Very powerful. And when I have the ability to do all those things, then I can truly hold space for others.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think it's so hard for people, though? Like we were talking earlier about how like a lot of people are interjecting and like talking over you, and like, or if there's silence, they're like, oh, I have to fill this. Like, why do you think it's just a struggle for people to just be quiet more?
Honestly, to keep it super simple, I honestly believe that everything stems from one or two things: fear or love. People that run on fear, they have a very hard time sitting with themselves, sitting with silence. Space always constantly needs to be filled. So I think that is a huge, huge factor. And also, honestly, people aren't taught to listen anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
It's not about helping others anymore. It's about self-preservation.
Yeah, the me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that is fear-based.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know,
I like that, and that kind of leads into the ego interjecting, because I know that we've both seen that where, and you can kind of see it energetically too. Someone kind of doing this grasping of like, I have to fill this. I have to fill this silence. How do you kind of handle when you see that someone's ego is like really playing out and you're just kind of observing that?
I literally just observe it
Yeah.
because that's I have learned through my life to choose my battles
Mm,
and to battle somebody's ego. It's exhausting. You're not heard. It's not uh, truly when somebody's running that highly on ego, they don't want to hear anything
right.
else. And that's their process. And honestly, I don't need to be heard that badly. So I'm not gonna waste my time.
Mm-hmm.
I will sit and I will hold space for them because obviously they really truly need it.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna try and change that.
Mm-hmm.
That's they have to come to that conclusion themselves.
Yeah. That's funny though, because whether they're aware or not, you're still holding space,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And it's because ego is fear-based.
Mm-hmm.
That's as humans, that's literally our only primal instinct.
Right.
That's our survival is ego because it lets us judge. It lets us know when we're safe, when we're not. And if somebody is running on that, and I mean, I know this from personal experience with trauma, is when you're in that fight or flight mode, you can't hear anything because you're running from primal instinct at that point, and it's truly pointless
Yeah.
to try and convince somebody that they're safe.
That's right. Because
Well,
you can't override their nervous system.
no,
Yeah.
no.
As much as we'll try, it just requires more work from them
Yeah.
to retrain that. And that takes time.
And there was a point in time where I didn't understand that
Mm-hmm.
and where I would try and talk people down, but you can't.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
can't. The only thing you can do is hold space for them and prove. Because when you're in fight or flight, you need something tangible. You need to see it because you can't hear. So if somebody is witnessing you holding space, whether it's that time or 10 times down the road, you're going to prove to them that they can trust you,
Mm.
that they can relax around you, that you are someone safe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's
If
so important.
Mhm.
If someone ever was able to observe you or I helping someone and they were like, how sort of what was going on in your mind as you were holding space for them? Like for me, I would say you have to set yourself to the side.
Yeah.
And that's like kind of the most helpful thing to keep in mind when you're holding space is like, this is not about me. This is not about me. Because our ego, of course, is going to come in too, right?
Mhm.
And I'm sure you've had times where you want to interject, but it's like, that's not what holding space is for. It's literally just listening.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting because you have to, like, when you're holding space, you have to observe that person and just be with their stuff and with them, but you also have to observe yourself
Yeah.
and be keeping yourself in check and check and check. And so it's kind of like, how people say, and I know that you meditate as well. And so it's like, when people say it's just a practice and you come back. So your mind wanders, you come back. Your mind wanders, you come back. It's the same thing. Like when you're holding space, you're right. You have to
Absolutely.
come back. No, I'm just listening. I'm just listening. But like it's a hard process to like describe to someone or teach, but I feel like for you it's about being with spirit in that moment as well. I know that you've
Yeah.
talked about that.
Yeah. Absolutely it is. And I like that you said that, Raina, about meditating because meditating is just being mindful. And when you're truly listening and holding space for somebody, you're in the moment, you're mindful of the moment. And when you are in that moment, then you truly are hearing them. Most people are thinking ahead of how they can respond,
Yes.
right? So they're not truly hearing. But if you can sit there in the moment, you're going to hear every word spoken.
That's so true because
Yeah,
people's minds will be like, when do I get to talk next?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I've that's actually been a great gift of recovery
Mm-hmm.
and going to meetings, because I remember when I first came in, that's what I would always be thinking about what I was going to share at my turn. And then it got to the point where I realized, oh my gosh, there's so much I need to learn from these people. I need to listen. I made it the habit that whoever is speaking, I stare at them and I hold eye contact with them. And it's kind of cool because they'll catch that and then they hold eye contact with me. So it becomes a personal conversation. And because I'm doing that, I'm not thinking about what I'm going to say. I'm truly hearing because they're speaking right at me.
Yeah.
My mind is not somewhere else. So that's been a great gift.
And how long have you been sober?
24 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So proud of you.
Thank you.
I know you have an amazing story around that. One of the things that you mentioned earlier was how, when people are talking, that one of the skills in holding space is mirroring back to them what they're saying. So
Yes.
how do you feel that helps people?
I think mirroring is very important because it just it, it again it proves that you've literally heard what they said. And not only that, there's such power in hearing your thoughts come from somebody else's mouth. It hits different. And then it changes that process a bit. Because in your mind, you might think something is completely reasonable, but to hear those thoughts come from somebody else's lips, it might change that perception a little bit.
Yeah, that's
You know,
right.
it's a very important part of holding space.
Yeah, huge. And imagine that if there's times when you hear something you've said given back to you from someone else, like there could be huge medicine in that. It could be where
Absolutely.
you're going, no, that's exactly how I feel. And so then it confirms it, validates it for you. Or it could be the opposite where you're like, oh God, that's not what I meant. And both of those are really good medicine because it can help you get more clear on what you're actually feeling or how you're actually experiencing the event or topic at hand. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, what is one of your favorite skills or tools that you would share with someone on how they can learn how to be a better space holder?
My all-time favorite teacher of holding space is animals. Animals, if people paid attention to animals, how they communicate, it is animals don't have ego. They just run purely by soul. You know, the way they love and hold space for each other is just so pure. And the way they hold space for humans, you know, my dog, her and I, we have such a strong connection. And it's because I hold space for her as well. I give that back to her. I listen to her, probably too much, but but I do. I hold space for all animals because they're my teachers. And if you watch them when they're communicating, they don't move until the conversation is done. You know, like I don't know about the science behind it. Some say telepathy, whatever. I don't know the exact science. I don't honestly give a shit about science. Watching it is proof enough for me. But they have their conversation, whatever that is. When it's done, it's done. They've both been heard.
Then they can break away.
And then they can break away.
Yeah.
And it's funny, even when they disagree, because yes, they disagree, it's you can see that it's still respected and it's still heard. Animals are one of my favorite teachers. Same with nature. If you really, really go and pay attention to nature and listen to nature, it will show you. It will, because humans are the only ones that have this problem.
Well, and I know that you see animals as medicine, because a lot of times I'll get a text from you being like, I saw an owl, I saw a hawk, this happened, right? And it's so sweet. But your connection with that medicine is really strong, and I think it's so, like, such a good part of the conversation to bring in is how, even like you said earlier, like, well, the science isn't really relevant. It's like, no, it's not. Like, if these are our teachers and all we have to do is observe them, we don't really need more than that, right? They're giving you exactly what you need to learn about how to be.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Silence is powerful medicine.
Mm.
So something you brought up is, holding space, not just for others, but you also sort of wanted to move the conversation also into, like, holding space for your home, for your food. Like, tell me more about your perceptions on that.
For me, anything I have a relationship with, I am connected to. If I'm connected to something, I need to hold space for it, because it goes both ways. My home is literally my space. I need to hold space for it and listen. And I'm not just talking with my ears, like, listen with my senses, all senses. Does it feel appreciated? Does it feel loved? Does it need anything? Everything I would give to a human, I need to give to my home, to my food, to, anything. Everything is a relationship.
Yes. And that's such the foundation of medicine work, right? Is that everything is a relationship. And I mean, we could tangent this off into 100 different conversations about, like, intentional purchasing and, like, making sure that the things you bring into your home are wanting to be there, that you want to have them in your space. And I know that you and I have also had many conversations around being gifted things that once they're in your home, you're like, oh, this isn't mine. This is supposed to be regifted, or this needs a good sage. Like, you're like me, you don't like online shop and buy tons of things for your home. Like, you're very intentional with what you're bringing in. And I think that is so important for people to understand, is like, if it is that relationship conversation and you want to feel clear and calm in your home.
Yes.
You don't want to feel like it's always missing things and it needs to be filled with more things.
That's you just nailed it. Because if you have this constant need to fill your house with more things, that's ego. That's escaping. That's trying to escape being with yourself. It's very relational.
Oh, and that's such a good metaphor. It's like, it's the same as interjecting your ego.
Yeah.
It's trying to fill your home with things, trying to fill the space with your voice, right? It's exactly the same.
Exactly. It's true. It's true. Because that's what ego does. Ego is distraction.
Mm-hmm.
It's distraction because, again, your primal instinct, if something's chasing you, you want it freaking distracted so it's not going to eat you.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
And if you're running from yourself, you want to distract it,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Yep, for sure.
absolutely.
This is so interesting because, like, one of the things that we really connected on when we first met was traditional ways.
Mm.
And so, this conversation about, like, when you use the word primal, it really triggers me to think, like, there's so many things that we honor in that, but then there's also things that there are primal parts that are good that we want to uphold, and there's primal parts where you're like, that's not real anymore. Like, we had the nervous system conversation. So, like, thinking about, that primal part of you that thinks that you're really unsafe when you're not, it's just that hasn't been trained. So there's really, like, good and bad in those, acknowledging all the primal parts of us, right? Anyways, that's a whole other conversation. Thank you for this. Do you want to just quickly share so I know you mentioned food. So how, like, for you, what's your experience with how you hold space for your food? I'm really curious about that. Like, what that relationship looks like for you.
Very good question. My relationship with food is beyond important. I mean, as you know,
Yeah.
my diet is beyond limited and very strict for medical reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very grateful for that because that changed my relationship with food because my food is my medicine. It truly is. My food is my life. If I eat wrong, it's very dangerous.
Yeah.
So because my food is my medicine, when I'm preparing my food, I have to listen to my body. What does my body need right now to help support it the most so I don't get sick? And as I'm preparing the food, because it is my medicine, I'm constantly feeding it gratitude. I'm feeding it love. I'm giving thanks to the creator, to Mother Nature, from the hands that touched it from seed to table. All of these things are keeping my body healthy and alive. I have to be able to hold that space and give that thanks as I'm preparing it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's more than just stuffing my face.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is
you kind of got forced into healing your relationship.
Kind of got
with
forced
food.
to it. Yeah, but that's because, I mean, hold a glass of water and speak love and gratitude into it.
Yes,
it's going to heal your body. Imagine what putting that into your food does. It literally changes the molecular structure of it. So whatever I am thinking and feeling as I'm preparing my food, I'm going to eat that. Well, I don't want to eat fear and anger and sadness. There's a good reason why when you're sad, you're angry, all that, you're not really hungry.
Right. Yeah.
Because whatever you're putting in your mouth should be full of gratitude and love, because that's what heals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Again, pulling back, we don't really need science to prove that to us. That's just that relationship.
Yeah.
Well, this has been an amazing conversation. I really appreciate your time, and I think that people listening will have a better understanding of asking someone before, if they come to you for help or they come for conversation, just asking them, would you like me to hold space, or are you looking for advice? Like, I think that's one of the things that keeps our friendship really strong is we have that respect for each other to ask first. And of course, if we don't, I'm not mad.
Well,
There's no anger, but we do have understanding. Like if you ever said to me, "Oh, actually, I don't want advice. I just want to be heard." Absolutely. Right. And
likewise.
vice versa. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. So I really honor you and everything that you've been through and everything that you could share today. So thank you.
Thank you, sister. And I'm very, very honored to do this with you. And I love you. And I have the utmost respect for you. I really do. I do. I do. Your journey, your medicine, everything you do.
I was
I
gonna
cherish you.
Thank you. I was gonna start the podcast by being like, Laura is one of the most powerful medicine women I've ever met. She walks the talk. And I'm just so happy that people could hear your medicine today. Hey, thanks for making time to listen to Raise Radio today. I really appreciate you. If you head on over to my website, www.lutesnutrition.ca, you can get some food for your soul. I'm giving away my Food and Healing Make Stress and Overwhelm a Thing of the Past guide. It gives you everything you need to end the mind games, stop agonizing about whether or not you're doing wellness right, and end your nightly cravings. It is free on my website, lutesnutrition.ca. Head there now and you can grab the guide for yourself. Thank you so much for listening today.